Replay. Oh, shout out to Stream Elements for reacting, for responding. If you do look in the title of the stream, it should say replay cast in the title. If we ever do have a replay cast, it is always in the title of the stream. But here we go, spawning in the bottom right hand corner of 10,000 feet, we have the Danish Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing Storm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the red Terran player, the French Terran for Team Liquid. It is Clem. Here we go, and now the shoe is on the other foot, so now it is time for Clem to, he was able to pop off and able to take down one of the best TvP players in the world in Cure, and now it's time to face off against one of the best PvT players in MaxPax. Clem was able to win with Protoss, but now can he win with Terran in the same matchup? Let's go. Let us go. Now again, Clem, he has the best TvP in the world, 100%. I would say that Cure has the second best. I do rate Cure's TvP very highly, more than Bjorn, maybe on par with Maru. But you do not get better than Clem in Terran versus Protoss. As the SCV moves out. Now, MaxPax and Clem, they play against each other so often that there's often like metagaming within each other as well. We do see that Clem, he attempts the eBay block, but the probe scout is very fast, and MaxPax, he will deny this eBay real fast and real quick. So nice scouting, nice reaction out of MaxPax. As the eBay shouldn't get much progression and should be cancelled. So early on, a better start here for MaxPax, as ideally you'd be able to force the unnatural natural. It is very common to see that on 10,000 feet. We do very often see Clem going into an all-in off of denying the base, but he fails to deny the expansion. And classical Clem versus Prince. Now Prince retired. Prince, he retired. Smurge, back to Smurge. Give me my Prince. Cannon rushing Maru and GSL. That's great. He had a couple of really key moments in his career, to be fair. As Clem does it up on the low ground, again going for his double gas follow-up here, racks into factory, into delayed CC, over the failed eBay block. Otherwise, welcome to 10,000 feet. We actually haven't been able to discuss this map, as this is the first time we're featuring it here in tonight's broadcast. But 10,000 feet has the shortest rush distance out of all maps in the current map pool. Likewise, it's just a really small map, very aggressive map as a result of that. The initial 3 and 4 base setup is pretty secure though. Thanks to the high ground, thanks to the points of elevation, we have seen we've seen a surprising amount of mid to late game here on 10,000 feet as a result of the more defendable 4 base setup. We'll see if we can get there. I'll be honest, we have yet to really experience any kind of late game. We've had longer games, that is true. We've had maxed out armies, but I would not consider that late game necessarily. As Clem pokes in, picks up the initial death. Looking forward again, he wants to get into the mineral line. He's going for it. Yeah, he's going for the dive. Gets past the Stalker, pushing into the main base, and how many probes can he get? We'll get 1, 2, 3 probe kills so far. Decent damage here by Clem, getting further in, and he's still not done, by the way. Oof. Getting up to 6, getting up to 7. Can we get 8? Una más, papi, una más. One more heli volley. Oh my god, the probes they line up towards the end. 10, 11. No shot, 11, 12 probes going down to the early Reaper heli, and this should not have happened. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, that is critical damage. That is critical damage. I assumed up to maybe 5 probe kills, maybe, but no, that was insane damage for 3 Reapers and 2 Hellions, and with that, Clem takes a massive lead early on, bearing in mind that this early economic damage, it's even more useful, or I should say it's even more impactful the earlier on it is, just because your working on is so limited. So this heavily slows down MaxPax. Clem is not done, going for the line drop follow-up, hits a natural, would manage to borrow. Jesus. Clem pulls away. This Widow Mine actually denies any kind of mining. So MaxPax, he's stuck on a 1 base economy. He cannot mine. He has to be careful. Be careful, baby. no, the retargeting! Oh my god, massive connection, 7 more probe kills. MaxPax did not notice the winner mine, getting up to 9 probes in total, and MaxPax is falling apart. He's just falling apart here in the early game, losing far too much in total. How many did he lose? 21 probes. This is game-ending damage. Straight up game-ending damage here. You cannot afford to lose 21 workers this early on in the game. Not like this. The pressure's on. We do have a counterattack back at home. There's not much to defend. True. We gotta go. We gotta commit. You do see the Marines. They do rotate from the low ground. We got 1 SCV. We got 2. It's something. Getting up to 3 SCV kills. Getting a 4th towards the end. At the same time, we do have Soldiers pushing in towards the natural. Okay, nice damage here. Again, MaxPax has so much pressure on him. He has to find some equalizing damage. And this is nice, but this is still not enough. You can see just how massive the economy here, how massive the worker count is for Clem. 38 SCVs to 23 probes, plus mules. So this is this is nice damage, not good enough. We need more. MaxPax, he needs more damage. The War Prism did recall back home. Prism did recall. He has limited warp-ins, as his economy is limited as well. MaxPax is essentially all in. He's essentially all in here. As he's moving into a tank and a bunker. Again, it's all or nothing. MaxPax is going for it. Baits out the tank shot. Diving in, takes down the tank. Boys are being pulled. There's the auto turret going for the Prism. Prism is going to be targeted. GG gets called. The all-in fails, and Clem, he will take game number 1. Whew, GG. GG, well played. Again, crazy damage. 21 probe kills at the start of the game. I mean, fun. I mean, I would even argue that the Widow Mines was like the cherry on top. Even before the Widow Mines, losing 12 probes to the Reaper Hellion was already critical damage. Like that was already brutal. To lose another extra 9 workers on top of that, like that was. I mean, again, that was game then and there. We saw that MaxPax, he attempted to counterattack. He found 5 SCV kills, but as you mentioned, that was not good enough. Like he had to do some critical damage there, and that's why he was forced into the all-in at the end of the game. Last the all-in did fail. GG gets called, and with that, Clem takes a lead. Now we're loading into game 2. Let's go. Loading into game 2. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of the Old Republic, we have the Danish Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Psystorm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the French Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. Here we go. So we're getting into game number 2 here. Again, Clem with a very explosive start to game 1. No pun intended there. And we'll see how we'll approach things on a much larger map. Remember, welcome to the Old Republic. This is a very large map of the map pool, longer rush distance by ground, but it has a very accessible 3rd, 4th, and 5th base. The bases themselves are a lot more accessible here, so we do often see a lot of 3-base aggression, and we'll see what Clem decides to go for this time, as his SCV is being sent across the map. He tries to avoid the probe scouts, but they will run into each other. MaxPax sees the SCV, and he should be able to deny any kind of attempted eBay. Yep. Now you can see that Clem is attempting for the eBay block. The probe is in position. Clem was already seen. And 2 games in a row, Clem attempts the eBay block, and 2 games in a row, it will fail. As more boys are being pulled. Across the map, they should be forcing out a factory. We could see Clem still attempt to go for the CC, but again, this is delayed because he had to invest into the eBay. So we should be seeing the factory. As the SCV gets very low. Oh god, Jesus. The SCV goes down, a nice pickup. There's a cancellation on the eBay. Clem gets a refund, and he does have enough here for the command center. There we go, CC on location. So delayed CC first here by Clem, or delayed Rax expand. Going for the Marine, and looking to settle into the Old Republic. Let's go. Settling in. Early on, I'm liking MaxPax's position, but we'll see where Clem takes us. Now, I wouldn't be opposed to seeing Clem go for a third CC after the factory. We saw that build by Cure, if you recall, and Cure, he had a really big power spike as a result. And again, I still feel like he should have won that game. Like, I'm still thinking about Cure versus Clem on the Old Republic. So we could see something similar here. We'll see if Clem goes for a faster starport or a second Rax instead. Here we go. Because how large the map is, I'm not really too fond of two-base play. Not on the Old Republic. Twilight Council opener out of MaxPax. So also go for the Council, getting into Blink. So far, MaxPax is going to be zoned away. We are indeed getting into our 1-1-1, so no fast third CC. So more standard follow-up and a more tame follow-up here from our players. So we're just slowing things down, building up into the mid-game. As Clem does open up with his drop play. Okay, going for a Cyclone drop. For his drop, MaxPax taking his third. I believe this is off of 3 gates. No, 2 gate. Okay. So MaxPax being greedy, going 2 gate blink into a fast third. A greedy build here, greedy play. At the same time, it never gets in. 3 SCV kills. Nice damage here by MaxPax. So MaxPax being hyper greedy and killing SCVs off the back of this. Not bad at all. Remember, MaxPax, he delayed his robo. He delayed his gateways. And we'll see if Clem can punish. He's going for it. Clem is moving out. He's going to be reinforcing with the Liberator and the tank. I'm not too fond of this here on the Old Republic just because of how large the map is, but we'll see if he can pull this off. It's going to be difficult. He spots the third base is almost done. He now confirms the greed. Able to unload. Blink is done for MaxPax. Yeah, Clem, there's nothing you can find here. No damage. Clem, I meant to say. Oh no, he's gonna lose the full medevac as well. Massive pick off. MaxPax is just all over Clem this time. This game, like MaxPax killing SCVs, they're getting a greedier build that shuts down the drop play. Ay. Very rough position for Clem. Now we have a move out, but again, with significantly less support for it. As Clem lost 9 Marines already. Liberator does harass, gets 2 probes. Main army moves out. They catch the Observer. Clem, doesn't commit. Because Clem got spotted by the Observer, he knows that MaxPax is on his way. So Clemmy pulls back, and MaxPax, he peels off 1 Stalker to tank a tank shot if we're hiding in the tall grass. So both players checking each other. And we have a third CC. Third CC is on the way. Coming into the mid game, MaxPax is in a better position, 100%. Like, he's in a better position here. He's had the better economy. He's getting map control. We can see Clem trying to catch out MaxPax. The Observer does spot the army though. Ooh. Late reaction. Late reaction out of the Protoss, but he bypasses the main army. Rotating to the third. Nice snap on the Observer, but he has the high ground. Oh my god. Yeah, Clem out of position. As Clem looks like he does get 1 of the Stalkers. He gets 1, bleeds off the Cyclone. Still better trades from MaxPax. Once again, you can see Clem trying to bait out the army. Gets a tank shot off. Just catching one stalker. Charge is complete. You can see MaxPax getting ready for a surround or even a drop. Okay. Dropping into the main. He's making his way in. Liberator, I think, did return. As else, they do catch some reinforcements. You can see Clem turning most of his army back home. Yeah, he turns everything around. SCVs are going down. And again, MaxPax just pulling Clem apart. Getting 8 SCV kills. Clem is contained. MaxPax getting another base. Getting a 4th. Tanks are unsieged. He wants the tanks and he gets them. Yeah, 1 tank goes down. Just the 1. I feel like MaxPax could have committed there. He's waiting for the Immortal. Oof. More Zealots into the main. A little bit less successful this time. Clem is ready. Still losing 5 more SCVs. And Clem holds. Clem holds on. MaxPax is up a base. He's getting his 4th. He has map control. For the most part, MaxPax, again, he's still in a better position. And he doesn't catch the medevac. The pressure's on Clem. And there are ways to recover in this game with drop play, for sure. There's potential. But these drops, they need to find damage. Clemmy's desperate. Drops into the 4th. Nothing's in position. Okay. Gets 3, 4 probe kills. Not bad. Saves the drop this time. Making his way into the main. Oh, he's trying to. Doesn't quite get in. Clem, he breaks free. Now, thanks to this drop, MaxPax, everything is at home. Everything is at home to defend, which means MaxPax doesn't slow this down. Clem, he freely walks across the map. This should not have happened. Oh, Widowmines overextend. Losing 2 Widowmines already. Prism is active. So far, nice force fields, nice swipes with the Colossus. MaxPax, what's he going for? Does he go for the surround or the backstab? He's going for the backstab. But Clem is ready. Clem, he has an army in position. Distracted by the Zealots. Okay. MaxPax finding some damage. He breaks out. Oh, he at least tries to. Better engage for Clem. Get some tank shots off, and Clem's push has failed in the sense that he doesn't get across the map. But, I mean, he had some nice moments here. Got some nice tank shots. He shut down the harass. We have somewhat of a back and forth. I say somewhat because Clem is forced back home and his 4th CC is late. Like, MaxPax should still be the first to max out. Now, we saw that Clem was very fond of going into triple robo into Mass Disruptor from here. MaxPax, so far, is staying on 1. So far, still just 1 robo. MaxPax is going for a much more classic Mass Gateway composition instead. Has yet to switch into Storm or Disruptors or Sky Toss. Just Mass Gateway, man. This is a lot more classic. This is how PVTs have been looking for the past couple of years. The downside is that the army is more fragile for MaxPax, but it is cheap. It's a cheap army, and his goal is to just leverage his economy and just outtrade Clem. Just like send wave after wave of charge outs. It's like a swarm toss kind of style. As MaxPax is on a very low gas count. Double drop moves out. Here comes MaxPax going up the ramp. It does commit in. Ooh, decent mine connections. Yeah, Widowmines are going off. We do see Clem kiting back. Decent concave going for the Colossus. He gets 1. Yeah, he gets 1. There's just not enough Zealots. Yeah, not enough charge outs here. I say that the army is a little bit overstimmed. He kites back for more Vikings. And Clem holds. Yeah, Clem, he shuts down the main army. At the same time, the double drop got across the map. Gets into the 5th. MaxPax is racing back home. And this double drop will kill the expansion. Kills the Nexus. 11 probes. MaxPax losing a Colossus in the retreat. And MaxPax is just being pulled apart. Just being pulled apart here. And this is the downside of going for this very cheap army, is that if you start losing Colossus, it takes so long to replenish because MaxPax only has 1 robo, right? It's only 1 robo, as opposed to Clem, who had triple robo production, if you recall. So it takes a long time to replenish the backbone of the army, and MaxPax is stuck with pure Zealot. And this style is very momentum-based. Very momentum-based. You are heavily reliant on containing your opponents, and he failed to contain. This double drop is winning Clem this game. Killed a base, killed the mineral line, dragged MaxPax out of position. MaxPax down to 2 Colossus. Ooh, Prism goes down. Yeah, Prism goes down. There's nothing to distract Clem. And Clem gets a 4th base. Again, this should not have happened too freely here, but Clem getting a 4th base is a big power spike. Clem is maxed. MaxPax is struggling. Struggling to hold on. Desperate for a counterattack, desperate for a run-by. Clem starts up 3-3. Has begun. Clem has a massive army to work with. What Clem is lacking is Ghost. You can see here the Ghost Academy was delayed for Clem. So late Ghost production, late EMPs. True. And Clem is staying at home. He didn't counterattack. So this is giving MaxPax the time to rebuild his Zealot army. And MaxPax is going for Storm. Okay. Storm is on the way. Vikings, they do reset the Colossus counts. Oh, MaxPax, he cannot take this fight. Yeah, he commits in, losing every Colossus. Yeah, this was not the fight to take. This is... Ay. MaxPax getting bullied back. Prism goes down. And Storm is almost done. We have 0 High Templar. Never mind. 0 Templar, 0 Storms are really available. There's a couple of Archons, and a lack of EMP will hurt Clem. He gets 3 Colossus. And it takes down the Colossi. Does overextend though. Yeah, the Gateway army does catch out Clem. Jesus, that's a lot of Zealots. that's a massive charge of the army. Meanwhile, Clem, he gets into another base. Nice more mining. MaxPax, he's rushing across the map. Now, Clem, did he lose too much when he moved out? He may have. He may have just lost too much. The mass Gateway army is overwhelming. Clem is in trouble. The Vikings at a supply. Yeah, drops are being cleaned up. MaxPax is now focused on the main push. And again, even though it's a very cheap army, it's very quick to remax, very quick to rebuild. MaxPax denying the expansion. Has to respect the Ghost though. Again, that's a lot of EMPs. MaxPax has to calm down. Calm down, moving out for his own run by, and gets spotted by the factory. Oh. Storms are now available. Nice target firing at a Clem. Gets 3, 4, 5 up to 6. 5 pro kills. The drops they continue. MaxPax, oh, he barely does miss them. Barely does miss a double drop. And remember, Clem's army is superior here. Like, he's perfecting his army, getting into more Liberators, into more Ghosts. The Lib count isn't quite there yet, but he's working on it. Going back to Vikings. Zealots, they collapse in. And Clem just pulling MaxPax apart. That's EMP. There are more Zealots coming. He does focus on every single Stalker. The control back. And again, the problem here for MaxPax is that playing this style, you're meant to have map control and you're meant to contain. But to be honest, MaxPax has failed to contain. He failed to deny the 4th base of Clem, and now he's failing to deny the 5th base. Now the 5th base is on the way, so Clem economically, he's maintaining himself, he's keeping up with MaxPax. Now we have our Storms. Oh, nice snipe. Gets High Templar. Again, the 5th base is now operational. MaxPax going for his own run by. Vikings, they reset the Colossus count once again. Yeah, no more Colossus, limited Zealots. Run by does hit the natural, but Max actually will lose the main army, losing the Colossus, the Zealots, and even the Stalkers. Has to get the hell out of here, and he may just trigger the counterattack. Zealots are warping it in time. Nice Storm. Nice Storm does zone away. Zealots, they do catch reinforcements. These are nice trades from MaxPax. Going for the Ghost, going for the Vikings. Getting 7 SCVs. This at least buys some time. But MaxPax, he still needs more time to recover. Oof. Yeah, losing another expansion. Another base goes down. Oh no, throws away Colossus. Miscontrol out of MaxPax. Yeah, a bit of a misrally. We're getting messy, baby. Getting messy. Oh, and Clem's final form. We have the Fusion Core for Liberator Range. Liberator Range is on the horizon. I mean, we haven't really incorporated too many Liberators, but that is working towards it. As Clem, he once again breaks out. He should get another expansion. Does recall in time, but I mean, does recall, but doesn't save the base. Nexus goes down once again. MaxPax out of position, losing another Colossus. Denies the warp in. Oh my god, the EMPs are brutal. Yeah, massive EMPs. MaxPax once again just getting pulled apart, losing more Colossi. And he's gonna lose everything. Lose the entire army. 3 Colossus goes down. GG gets called, and Clem takes a 2-0 lead in the series. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Initially, MaxPax did have the better early game. I will say that. Like, MaxPax was looking pretty good early on. Able to shut down the aggression of Clem, but we spoke about it, right? It's like all the momentum shifted once Clem got his 4th base, once the 4th base got up and running. And if you remember, how did the 4th base get up and running? When Clem snuck out with 2 medevacs. He was able to sneak out with 2 medevacs, get a base, get a mineral line. That was the moment where, if you remember, MaxPax had to turn his entire army back around. He relinquished map control, and that allowed Clem to establish his 4th. And once that 4th got up, like, all that momentum was taken away from MaxPax. Winding it back, kind of explaining that, we did mention it during the game itself, but this style that MaxPax was going for is very different to how Clem was playing his PvTs. Like, what was Clem doing? Clem, he was building up a more gas-intensive army, a more robo-centric composition with mass robo into mass Colossus into mass Disruptor. Like, again, like a more tech-heavy composition. Here, MaxPax is going for a cheaper army, going for mass expansions, going for a low gas count into a very heavy gateway composition, which can work wonders if you can deny your opponent's bases. But if you fail to deny the 4th base, if you fail to deny the 5th base, then you get outscaled, right? You get outscaled from the Terran player, you get outscaled by your opponent. They build up a more effective, a more efficient army, and then you just lose ground over time. Again, the whole purpose of this style that MaxPax was going for was to deny the bases, and he wasn't able to. GG. GG, well played. And again, a lot of that comes down to the drop play. We mentioned the one drop, but there were multiple drops. Like, it was really impressive to see Clem be as active as he was. He had so many medevacs get across the map, and whenever he did, he would kill bases. Like, he wouldn't just kill mineral lines, but he killed so many Nexi throughout the course of that game, thanks to double drops, right? Double drops, they just kept moving out, kept killing bases, and MaxPax just had a really hard time keeping up with the drops and successfully just containing the Terran. GG. GG, well played. So very impressive drop play there by Clem. With that, that leads us into game number 3, leads us into potentially the final game of the series. I'm hoping for a back and forth here. We want to see a game 4, a game 5, but MaxPax, he is up against the wall here. One more loss, and that will be the end of the series and the end of the broadcast. Let's go. Up next, we're loading into Tourmaline. Loading into Tourmaline. Oh boy. Spawning in the top right hand corner of Tourmaline, we have the French Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Team Liquid, leading the series 2-0 and 1 game away from claiming the series. It is Clem. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Danish Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Sidestorm Gaming. It is MaxPax. Here we go. Because we are getting into our 3rd game of the series, and again, the pressure is on MaxPax. No more missteps, no more mistakes. We gotta lock in, Pat. Gotta lock in. Now, every game of this series, we have seen Clem attempt to eBay block and fail to really pull that off. This time, we can see MaxPax scouting the low ground, ensuring that there is no SCV. This time, Clem stays at home. Single gas, economic opener. Now, welcome to Tourmaline. Tourmaline is a much smaller map of the map pool. There's a very high chance that Clem is going to all-in. Very high chance. All-ins are favored. Aggression does hit harder, does hit different on Tourmaline. Does hit different. So we're expecting a safe build out of MaxPax. We're expecting a safe build, or we're expecting to see some counter aggression instead. So remember, last game we had 2-gate blink into a 3rd base out of MaxPax. He had a very greedy build. This time we expect either 3-gate blink or even 4-gate blink Stalker, which MaxPax still does incorporate from time to time. Still does like to mix it into a series. As MaxPax does force a little bit of inefficiencies here out of Clem, pulling out one of the SCVs. Otherwise, Clem does go Marine first. No Reaper, no SCV Scouts, no Vision.
Command center upgrade complete.
So again, Clem is not really concerned with what MaxPax is up to. He's checking for proxies, checking for a gateway location here. There's no proxy gateway. Clem just confirming. As we have our tag of choice, Twilight Council out of MaxPax. Again, no surprises here, but what we're really keeping an eye on is the gateway count, right? Yes, it's going to be Twilight Council into Blink, but is it going to be 2-gate Blink, 3-gate Blink, or 4-gate Blink Stalker? So eyes are on MaxPax. Dead moves out. Clem is keeping up. Oh, as the CC does complete. And behind this, Clem going to his own 1-1-1. So 1-1-1 follow-up. There's no faster second racks, no faster third racks. I'll be honest, I expected to see a heavier racks count here, but we're not seeing that. Not seeing that. Adept's still poking in. We have the 2nd gateway on the way. Oh no, he's going 2-gate blink. Okay, bold move. I noticed the minimap. I noticed the probe in location here. So, okay, MaxPax 2-gate blink into a third base. This is the same build that he went for last game, but the difference is that the Old Republic is a much larger map, a longer rush distance. You can get away with greedier builds. Here, this is very risky. Very risky here by MaxPax. As the initial adept gets caught out. Losing one, losing both. Ooh. Yeah, taking a lot of hits, a lot of damage, and both adepts do get sniped. Tank production has begun, and Clem, he's going for the early move out, early drop. Now remember, Clem has no vision. He doesn't know how safe or how greedy MaxPax is being. So Clem, he has no idea. He's about to find out. And it's going to be on Clem to punish MaxPax. Yeah, the third base is almost done. Now Clem is aware. So he's a little bit indecisive. He knows that he cannot really force a cancel here, not with a single drop. But he also knows that economically, he will fall behind. So again, this was a risky move out of MaxPax, and so far it's paying off. As Clem races back home. Building up into a second tank. Getting into his bio, and for the most part, MaxPax, he should be able to take advantage of this third base. He's going to be able to freely just mine from his third, get an economic lead. Clem back at home, we'll see. Oh, actually, never mind. I assumed he was going to wait for Stim. Stim is on the way, it just started, and I assumed he was going to wait for it before the push, but no, he gets spotted. Yeah, he gets spotted by his move. I get spotted. It's on MaxPax to ensure he's aware of whether or not Clem stays at home. He's moving out. He wants to engage with the army ahead of time. As it looks like Clem, for the most part, is staying back. He tries to sneak out on the right-hand side. The Raven gets spotted. They spot each other. The Raven! Yeah, Raven should be sniped here. But you can see the Raven does drag the army completely to the left-hand side of the map. And here comes Clem. Clem, he's trying to get within range of the third. MaxPax is out of position. He's racing over. The Raven was the distraction. And tanks are getting within range. Yeah, they get within range. They will siege up. He's going for the dive. Yeah, Stalkers, they have arrived. Massive tank shots. Yeah, tank blows are going off. And the Stalkers are zoned away. Can Clem kill the base? If he can, I mean, he can just take a massive lead. The base is getting low. The boys are being pulled. He will focus out the Nexus. The Nexus does fall. And was this worth it? Yeah, he punishes the Stalkers. Every Stalker goes down. Massive pickoffs. Ay. Clem trading well here, getting 10 probes and the Nexus. Ay. Massive losses from MaxPax, and he is punished for his greed. Remember, MaxPax was being greedy. MaxPax, he was cutting corners by going 2-gate blink into a third base, and MaxPax is punished. Shout out to the MVP, by the way. Who was the MVP? The Raven. The hero Raven gave his life for the cause. The Raven dragged MaxPax completely out of position, buying as much time as possible, allowing Clem to get within range. And I mean, that was it. Third base goes down. MaxPax, the pressure's on. Oof. Dodges both mines. Nice dodges. Yeah, the hero Raven back. Clem moves out with the Widow Mines. At the same time, MaxPax moving in with his own War Prism. Head towards the main. Drops him moving in. Drops move in. Zelts into the main base. At the same time, Widow Mines. Oh my god. Does split towards the end. Very clutch, very close. If we had retargeted there, that would have been critical damage. But last second splits out of MaxPax. The Prism just does drag the army back home. Army pulls back to defend. And MaxPax is trying to recover. Retaking his third, but the economy has been stifled. The army production as well. That's why Clem has a supply lead. I say that Clem, I would say, is even ahead economically as he's about to take his third. Oh, Prism gets caught. Prism gets caught out. No backstab. MaxPax checking for the third base. It's not being taken. And by this point, MaxPax, he should already have a fourth. Like, there should already be a fourth in production. Shows how much MaxPax has lost. And now here comes Clem. Okay, momentum is on his side. And this, yeah, this fourth base is not going to get up. No shot. Oh, actually, it might. Colossus somewhat in position. Ah, no shot. Oh no, the Colossus has to get the hell out of here. Okay, second Colossus has arrived, but the fourth base goes down. Massive pickoff. Clem does maintain his economic lead. Is Clem even catching out Stalkers as well, and MaxPax is falling apart. Oof. It feels like MaxPax is all in here. Does he have a... No Prism. Yeah, no War Prism. You can see MaxPax, he's just F2ing. He's just F2ing everything across the map. Like, he knows how far behind he is. Does catch 2 Marauders. Okay. Does catch a couple Marauders. The Prism has now begun. I'm curious if he thought he had a Prism, but it's now on the way. Does need it for reinforcements. He rotates, sorry, Max actually rotates over. Clem is keeping up with the rotation. Doesn't waste the mine shot. Zealot run by at the third. Zealot say do step in. Oof. Yeah, brutal mine connection. And Max actually, he's committed, he's gonna go for it. Yeah, he's gonna go. Does he have enough? He has 3 Colossus. Vikings, they go to town. Yeah, there's just so much bio here. The first Colossus goes down, he gets 1. He gets 2, and he'll get all 3. He's gonna get all 3 Colossi. Then he can stim, he can chase. Again, Max actually was pretty committed there. Like, he was borderline all in with that push. He just spent everything on that. Still no 4th. Just now finishing. Still down in workers, still down in economy. MaxPax, that is. Oh god. Clem, he was going for his own double drop and he runs into the drop of MaxPax. Alright, does find some damage here. Threatens a dive. MaxPax going for his 5th base. Again, this is a little bit desperate from MaxPax. He's trying to mass expand, but he doesn't really have secure map control. Prism back into the natural. Clem is already getting his 4th. Oof. Now, the scary thing here is the base layout. This center 4th base, pushing into the center base of MaxPax is going to be very easy. Like, this is going to be a very accessible base for Clem to push into. And MaxPax has to do everything he can to keep Clem at home. The problem here, we spoke about this at the start of the game. The map is tiny. Like this we're on the same screen. Like the center bases, we're on the same screen. The strength of Protoss in the mid to late game in this matchup here is to gain map control and to contain the Terran, but MaxPax, he cannot. Clem cannot be contained. Clem moves out. Zealots are out of position. We spoke about it earlier, but this base is so accessible for Clem. They'll spot it. You can see that Clem, he's trying to figure out where the Colossus are. He's like, where is your army? Anyway, as the Colossus, they have arrived. You have Zealots ready for a run by. Clem, he doesn't commit. He's going to wait to max out. So very mature decision. Clem, he's just walling up. He's throwing down sensor towers all over the place. He's going to be the first to max. Fusion cores on the way for Liberator range. Ghosts are building up. +1 air attack. And again, Clem has been very comfortable this game ever since he killed the 3rd. Like, killing that 3rd base, that was a game-winning move for Clem. And MaxPax is yet to recover from that. He's yet to recover. He does have a 4th Colossus on the way. Nice EMP on the Colossus. Jesus. First Colossus goes down. One more volley. Gets a second. Zealots, they do come in from behind. They're trying to lock down the bio. But the kiting here is solid. Another EMP on the charge lots. The Viking count was reset. True. Down to 1 Viking. But again, MaxPax is lacking support. Clem, he's maxed out. He's stimming on forward. He can stim and he can win. You have the attempted run by, the attempted counterattack. That does distract Clem. Yeah, at least for a moment. And the problem here is that MaxPax, he's fighting for his life. He's fighting for the center base and he just cannot maintain it. Not on this map. Not on Tourmaline. No shot. Clem once again moves in. Ooh, snipes the first Colossus. Down to 1. And soon to be down to 0 here. Nice kiting with the Vikings. GG gets called as MaxPax has nothing left. And Clem will take the series 3-0, becoming this week's PiGosaur Cup, well, actually the final champion of PiGosaur Cup in 2025. GG. GG, well played. A very dominant performance here by Clem. Again, MaxPax had a very cheeky build here this game. Remember, winding it all the way back to the beginning of Tourmaline, to the beginning of Game 3, MaxPax, he went 2-gate blink. He went 2-gate blink into a very fast third base. A very, very greedy build, by the way. That was a third base before the robo. Hyper greed out of MaxPax. And Clem, when he scouted it, he actually pulled back. He pulled back, he built up his tank push, he built up his move out, and we saw that MaxPax was keeping up with the initial movements of Clem until the Raven. If you remember, the Raven did peel off towards the left-hand side. The observer spotted the Raven. MaxPax, he just tunnel visioned on that Raven. He sent every stalker to snipe the Raven, and he did snipe it, which is a nice pickoff. But because he sent everything to attack the Raven, he was pulled completely out of position. That left an opening. Clem, he just ran it down mid, ran straight to the third base, picked up his tanks, boosted in, and he killed the third. He killed the third base, and he killed 9 probes, and he killed all the stalkers as well. He had a crazy fight there at the third, and that did essentially set him up for success. I don't want to say that won him the game, but it put him in a winning position. It gave Clem a massive advantage just because the entire point of the build of MaxPax was to get ahead economically, and he lost that economic lead. So he had no economy, he had no tech, he had no production. Like he lost any kind of advantage that he was meant to have in this game by losing that third. So once he lost the third base, it was kind of smooth sailings from there. We saw that MaxPax, he was forced into an all-in. If you recall, he was forced to commit with his charged Colossus, but he just could not keep up with the superior economy of Clem. Clem, once he took his third base, he could get his 4th, his 5th base. Like, he just snowballed from there. And a big part of that is the map as well, right? It's like, because the map is so small, you have very little breathing room as the Protoss player to stabilize and to slow the game down. That is their strength, right? In a longer game, you're able to mass expand, gain map control, and contain the Terran. It is difficult to do that on these smaller maps, like Tourmaline, like Ruby Rock, just because counterattacks are so much faster and they hit so much harder as well. GG. GG, well played with that. Congratulations to Clem, as it does claim the series 3-0. Again, a very impressive showing here by Clem. Shout out to MaxPax, as he was able to hold his own in this series, but there were just a couple of key moments here where Clem was able to get the better of MaxPax, both in Game 1, Game 2, and in Game 3. GG, well played. And again, it was really cool to see the difference between MaxPax's Protoss and Clem's Protoss as well. They both clearly have very different approaches, very different styles. But GG, well played. With that, congratulations to Clem. And again, this was the final PiGosaur Cup of 2025. Again, we are going to be going on a hiatus for this event until 2026. So there is going to be a brief hiatus here for the PiGosaur Cup. Do not worry though, do not fret. The Tuna Cups will continue. That is our open cups alongside the Wardy TV Mondays. And I'm a little bit uncertain as to the Monday Night Weeklies, but they may also be continuing as well. I do know that some tournaments are going to be going on a break for the holidays, for Christmas and for New Year's, which is understandable. Speaking of, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, everyone in the chat. Again, we have 1 hour left. We have 52 minutes left for Christmas before Boxing Day here in Australia, so we're about to wrap up with Christmas, but I hope you all had a great day. Hope you all have a great holidays as well. Hope you enjoy yourselves, and hey, at least you're able to enjoy some StarCraft alongside it as well, with the festivities, with the holidays. Take care, everyone. Take care. Enjoy yourselves, whether you're spending your time with your families, whether you're taking time for yourself. Hope you have a great holiday. Have a great day, great weekend, great end of year, and beginning of 2026 as well. Crazy, baby, crazy. When it comes to the rest of our schedule, I do apologize. We did take a couple of days off. As you can see here on our brackets, on our calendar, we did take Tuesday and Wednesday off. That was the 23rd and 24th of December. So it took 2 days off, but we just came back on Thursday with PiGosaur Cup. We're going to be back tomorrow with the Rake versus Hackers Top show match, a best of 7 SE Evo show match. We have StarCraft Evolution League Saturday as well. I might have to reschedule, by the way, just because of the times of these events, so we're probably gonna have to move some stuff around, but yes, we're gonna be live with SEL tomorrow, and we have the Tuning Cup on Sunday. That is the December finals for Sparkling Tuning Cup. So again, we have a Casa Day moving forward coming into January. So plenty of content, plenty of StarCraft. Again, we did take a couple days off here earlier in the week just to spend time with our families, just for the holidays. But now we're back in the full swing of things here with all the casting, with all the StarCraft. And again, SC Evo right around the corner as well. When it comes to next week's schedule, we will be having New Year's Day off and New Year's Eve. So just a heads up that New Year's Day, New Year's Eve, we will be having off. So no casting, no content here on the channel, on the Cranky Ducklings. But we should be live elsewhere. Elsewhere. For example, if you want to tune into more of my own content, !light. !light in the chat. I do stream on my personal channel every now and then, and I should be streaming. I may even stream later today. Tempted. I'm a little bit tired. I'm gonna get some food. I'm gonna look after the bunnies. I might stream some ladder after this, like in like half an hour or something, maybe an hour's time. So keep an eye out. I might stream on my personal channel. I do not stream here on the Cranky Ducklings. Here on the Cranky Ducklings is a team channel, and we do keep this for casting purposes, right? We cast on the Cranky Ducklings. We have the podcast, for example, our talk shows, and we have some team content here as well. But if you're interested in my personal streams, like laddering or playing some other games like Final Fantasy, or what other game tickles my fancy, I do stream on my personal channel instead, so that's separate. We tried to keep it separate here. It has its pros, it has its cons. But if you're interested, again, I've been live pretty consistently over the past week. We've had just a little bit more time to stream, and I might go live later on tonight after we get some food and after we spend our time with the bunnies. We'll see, we'll see. I'm a little bit on the fence just because it's been a very exhausting day. Sad. We'll see, we'll see. But if I go live, I'll be on my personal channel. Otherwise, if you want to follow us and support us on the Cranky Ducklings, !socials in the chat, you can check us out on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Discord. All things Cranky Ducklings. We do stream on YouTube and Twitch at the same time. And if you see something that you like here, and if you cannot watch it live, check out the VODs over on YouTube. We do upload to YouTube on a daily basis, so plenty of content, plenty of VODs over on YouTube. Check it out. Do consider checking it out. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and we'll be heading off. If you are unsatiated, if you want some more StarCraft, I believe Wardy is still Wardy. He just went live. He is hosting, I think he has a Christmas tournament. He does have like an impromptu Christmas event that he is running. So Wardy, he does have a tournament at the moment. What else is going on? Strange is live. Bratok is live. Rex is casting. Is anyone else live? Anyone that I recognize? I don't see anyone. Of course, a shout out to Trigger. Trigger, he gave us a raid earlier. Trigger, who was also streaming. But yeah, give some love to Wardy. Give some love to Wardy. So we're going to be heading off here for the evening. And again, happy holidays. Happy holidays. Happy. Take care. Take care. Also, very quickly, if you want to support us, you can do so via Patreon. !Patreon in the chat. Our Patreon is designed to fund our tournaments. It does fund our events. It does fund Tuning Cup, Sea Duckling Open, and Master Swan Open as well. It is all funded via the Patreon, so you can support us there if you wish. Otherwise, thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for a best of 7 StarCraft Evolution show match. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Ciao, papi, ciao. See you next time. Hasta luego.